G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today we're playing on Gorge with two of the world's best players in a very special event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the final games you'll ever see from the EGC TV Masters Winter Edition. I don't know, I just like to put the edition on there. Kind of makes it sound like Red Bull. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever had the winter or the summer editions of Red Bull, but anyway, that's what it's reminiscent of for me. We got two of the world's best players. Do not be that guy in the YouTube comments that's complaining about how every video we say they're the world's best players. If you don't know who these two players are, well, let me introduce them for you, because they are incredible. Spawning on the south side of the map, in the color red, playing as the Chinese. Representing Team Fox, a bit of a fox himself, ladies and gentlemen, it is Vortex. And in the north of the map, in the color yellow, playing as the Order of the Dragon. I'm trying to think of a witty way to introduce him, maybe something to do with Beauty and the Beast. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to go with the original one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Beasty. Welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company here on this Sunday. I think we're at Sunday. Technically, it'll be Monday by the time you guys see this for me and for New Zealand and for the guys over in Korea. That's it. Everybody else is getting to see this on Sunday. But anyway, welcome. A pleasure to have your company. We got a fun matchup today. We got a great matchup today. Order of the Dragon Chinese. Now, this matchup, it's got a long history, about as long as the expansion pack's been out for the Order of the Dragon, but the Order of the Dragon are quite a difficult civ to face off as, or against, as the Chinese, and we can already see the spearmen coming in early here for Beasty, looking to harass the villagers of Vortex. Vortex at 150 gold, an awkward amount of gold, and you can see, look at this, the immediate reaction is to just pull a whole bunch more vills out here. This is already hurting Vortex a huge amount in the early game. Super duper smart here by Beasty to do this. Vills are taking a lot of damage, but in the end, I think he's probably going to be fine on the age up. It's just that there is going to be a bit of a delay. He gets a villager. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. He gets the Vill. Was there animation canceling there? It might have been. I'm going to have to check the action replay right there. You just witnessed one of the world's best players lose a villager at 2 minutes to a spearman, dude. To a spear. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so he's got the gold. He's managed to secure... and now, I want to start this by saying, you got to understand, these guys are incredibly good. When these guys play, they very rarely make mistakes. What we just witnessed is very rare. Vortex has been rattled right now. Beasty has rattled him at 2.5 minutes into this game. He has been absolutely rattled. Imperial Academy going to be coming down now. I guess that's the consequence of not going for that early Imperial Official, because the Imperial Official costs you 50 gold, but you get it back in taxes. You get 73 from here, you get 8 from here. So you would get it back, and you'd get the gold to age up, and you can always forcibly hand off, but I guess that's the consequence of not doing that, is that you can potentially exploit it, and Beasty definitely found some nice pressure here early on. I love the fact that he's only gone for that one single spearman in the opening, and we see the Minework Palace. Beasty could be doing it. Are we going to potentially see... I don't think we'll see a Burgrave today. There's no way that we see a Burgrave, not from the Order of the Dragon. It's got to be a Regnitz. But typically in this matchup, what you can expect to see, at least the current meta, professional scouts into a fast castle. That's pretty much it. You might see a couple of units out, maybe a horseman or two here or there on either side, but it's pretty much just going to be that, and that's quite standard. So I'm curious to see whether we get any divergence from that. Beasty's already... I mean, this is quite common with the Order of the Dragon. I'd say that you'd see this more with the Order of the Dragon than you would with any other civs, with maybe the exception of, like, the Mongols, perhaps? But even then, I don't want to really say with the Mongols. And now, this is an interesting adaptation. Archery range coming out. Well, of course, I mean, you're going to have to make an archery range if you want to get rid of that spearman. There's no amount of horsemen that could get rid of that spearman. That man is an absolute tough nail to hammer. Anyway, I was trying to think of the words that I'm using. We do see the mill coming down on the berries. Of course, he's not planning on taking the berries right now, but it's nice to have it there just for later. But he'll need that because professional scouts will be coming through shortly. Interestingly, Vortex doesn't look like he's making a play at professional scouts at all, which is very curious. Town center does a little bit of damage towards that spear, forces it back, and now that we do have the archer putting on the pressure, so Beasty definitely going to be happy. He did a huge amount of damage here early on, manages to take down the mining camp, manages to kill an early vill, and you got to remember, it might not seem like much, right? Like, you're looking at that, you're going, it's not a big deal, Drongo. He killed one villager at the 2.5 minute mark. It's not that big. Let's think about it. Right, let's say this is let's go with a 50-minute game. That way it's easy to value it, right? That villager makes or gathers 40 resources every minute. That means after 10 minutes, it's gathered 400 resources. After 30 minutes, it's gathered 1,200 resources. Now, what could you do with 1,200 resources? It's quite a lot. If you think about it, your knight is going to cost you 240. So you could make 5 knights. So that villager has by that villager dying, you have 5 less knights at the 30-minute mark. That's one of the ways that you could... I was going to say geographically. That's one of the ways you could geographically recognize the power that the one vill's got. That's one of the ways that you could graphically, I guess that's probably a better way to say it, that you could graphically see the difference that there is. Professional scouts on the way through, stable coming up in the back of the base. No real surprise here. Only the single scout opening, but he'll have plenty more where that came from now as Beasty looks to try and really up the ante on the north side of the map. So where do we go from here with regard to Vortex? Now, keep in mind, this is a big tournament game. The winner of this series, so not this game itself, but this series, these guys are going to be playing, I think, 5 or 7 games between each other, but the winner of this series will go on to face somebody else before the grand finals. So not quite the grand finals, but just before the grand finals. And we don't know who's going to be in the grand finals just yet, but at the moment, it's either Marine Lord or Enatan that will be up there. So one of these two players will go on to face either Marine Lord or Enatan, and then Marine Lord or Enatan will then go on to face Marine Lord. It's complex. I geographically tried to explain it for you. Had a little bit of trouble with. Had a little bit of trouble. Wait, we've got double professional scouts coming in. We do. No real surprises coming through for you. But you want to know what you will be surprised by? No, you won't be. Today's drink of the day. We're going to start you off. We got a nice little... I got a big plastic bottle. It kind of reminds me back when I was in Manila with my wife, and she had me on this orange juice. It was the only orange juice we could find in all of the Philippines, and well, that's what I've got here. It reminds me a lot of that. It's good quality stuff, but apparently this stuff's Australian, so probably not the same stuff. Though I guess maybe we're exporting. Anyway, that's where we're at the moment. We got some orange juice for tonight. Just give me a sec here. We're 7 minutes through. I can justify a quick swig. That's good. That is good orange juice. Oh man, you gotta try like the real orange juice. Don't try the orange drink. Get the juice. Get the one with the pulp. Some people are for pulp. Some people are against it. I don't know. I'm definitely for it. I think it gives a bit more of a natural presence to the drink, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Leave your comments down below. We will have on the podcast next week a juice enthusiast who will explain all the pros and the cons for it. But let's talk a little bit more about this game. Beasty in the north of the map, putting the outpost down on the gold. No real surprises. He's going to be looking to keep this alive. Wants to make sure that there's no potential threat he loses this gold. There is always the risk of horsemen coming through and pushing him off this. So he wants to make sure that he's able to maintain control here. Professional Scouts is going to allow him the potential to maximize that food economy. Of course, we know his opponent has also gone into Professional Scouts. We've got 4 scouts on either side as the pros look to bring them back in. And have a look at this. Walls coming through now for Vortex on the south side of the map. Range in the front, stable in the back, and a Barbican around the side. Tell you what, it's looking a little bit like Burke's backyard right now. That is an Australian reference. That's a 90s Australian reference. There's about 0.6% of the audience that will get that. But if you did get that, congratulations, you get a lollipop. Barbican of the Sun. Looking strong here. He's in the Song Dynasty, so over time, Vortex's economy will become stronger despite the loss of that villager earlier on. Gilded Horseman is out as well for Beasty. Only the 3 vills on the gold for the moment, so could look to be staying a little bit longer in the feudal age. Perhaps I've underestimated him. Perhaps I figured he'd just be going pretty much straight up to castle, but the fact that he's gone into a second one as well, normally by this time he should have like 10 vills on gold, bringing in the gold. In fact, both of these players, I mean, to be fair, Vortex has got 8. He's literally up. He's up to the castle age right now. So Vortex knows what he's doing. Beasty, what's going on? Okay, there we go. Beasty with the transition. 10 vills exactly like... There, 15, 17 vills. Exactly where it should be. Beasty gets the message. A little bit late, but I think he might have realized maybe he invested a little bit too much in the horsemen, and that was kind of what drove it away. Up towards the north side. Army continues to position. There are some deer still up here, and Beasty could definitely make the difference now. Scout is going to get caught. He's probably going to end up losing it. He's gone down from 4 to 3 scouts. Meanwhile, back in the base, the clock tower coming out for Vortex. I'm putting my legs up right now. I need to put my legs up, and I need to put my hand on my chin and do a little bit of pondering right now, because I have got absolutely no idea what the purpose of this clock tower is. The general idea, I've explained it before. Oh my god, it's happening. He is doing a Burgrave. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Beasty's actually going beast mode right now. This is not normally something that you would see from him. We have seen occasional Burgraves. Normally of the Holy Roman variety, though. Rarely of the Order of the Dragon variety. The key difference here between these two landmarks for each of the civs is that with the Burgrave for the Holy Roman Empire, think of it like a printer. They're just printing units. Whereas the Burgrave Palace for the Order of the Dragon, it's a little bit of a slower burn. It's going to take some time for it to pay off. It's going to take some time for these units to come out. They're not as quick. Definitely not as quick. And as a result, it means that you less often see the Burgrave here. But I like the fact that it's been paired. Has he picked up any of the unique upgrades yet? Doesn't look like it. Zornhau, Bodkin Bolts in the Imperial Age, and of course Golden Cuirass for the Feudal Age. Nothing at the moment. And we're right on board now with Beasty. As the units make their way back, he's stolen away a couple of deer, but nothing too serious at this point in the game. At the 11-minute mark, we can switch it over to income per minute, though the differences that you'll see between these two are quite mild. Expect to start seeing religious units coming out shortly from Beasty. I'm kind of surprised that we don't already see them. Where's the monastery? What's going on? Am I making mistakes here? No, surely. It's the children who are wrong. Vortex already looking to pick up these relics, looking to potentially deny the relics away from Beasty. First one picked up for Vortex. Zhukunu numbers starting to rise as well. He's moving them towards the north side. Scouts coming out on the map. In fact, he's got the Lancer in the back of the base. Gets the point-blank charge. Beasty going to be losing out the first villager of the game. Gilded Knight now going to be coming out in response to it. We'll be able to chase the Lancer away. Meanwhile, towards that top side, Men-at-Arms going to be chasing the Zhukunu. The number of religious units is looking quite healthy here for Vortex. He's already picked up that first relic. Second relic, don't know exactly what the play is. He's going for this one. So that'll guarantee him at least 2 out of the 5 relics. Now, keep in mind, with Beasty going for the Burgrave versus not going for the Regnitz, he's going to have to delete it. He's going to have to delete it. He deleted it. He deleted it. He did the right thing. Good reflexes there by the Beast, I tell you what. Very well timed by Vortex as well. I think there was a bit of a bait there where he tried to convince him, maybe you can kill me, maybe you can't. But in the end, it wasn't able to get it away. But yeah, I think had Beasty gone for Regnitz, he'd be definitely a little bit sad right now. The monastery is out. We do see it is rallied towards the first of the relics. There's 2 on the north side and the safe Beasty relic on the bottom side, so he should be fine. A little bit of a patrol route down here as well, so he'll be looking out for any monks on the way through. There's nothing on here or down on the south side at the moment, so realistically, what Vortex needs to do is he needs to begin pushing up towards this angle. That's what he needs to do. Crossbows, lancers, all up here together, and we do see the first of the crossbows coming out now. Going to get caught by the horseman, the Gilded Horseman, able to pretty much 3-shot that bad boy. More units coming through. I'd love to see Beasty with the Lancers actually camping this, just kind of waiting to intercept any of those monks. That's ideally what he should be looking to do here. So we'll see whether Vortex will do that. Beasty, of course, now on the way out. We see that Prelate ahead of the game as it makes its way through. Numbers looking decent. He's actually picked up the first one already. He's going to go in for a charge. Oh, Beasty! Oh, Beasty almost got it. Oh, Lord, he was so damn close. Vortex, you're playing with fire. Why, though? Why? Why, Vortex? Why? Why? Why not just let the man wallow and then just take him out afterwards? Zhukunu, together with the crossbows, caught on the front. It's all over the relics. That's what they want. The monk's going to stand there, watch him, and go, hold on a minute. Where are you guys going? As he puts his arms up in the air and gets taken out. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the Prelate's going to be just doing what it does best. Did you see that? Did you see that? He rallied him out here, clicked on the relic, but it bugged out. It bugged out. He's heading back to base without a relic in his hands, the poor guy. Without a relic in his hands. Gilded Knight manages to clean up one of the vills. He's going to lose a Gilded Knight for it, and that is going to be painful. Unless it goes down. Well done. Relic number 1 has been secured for Beasty on that southeast, or rather on that east side. We see that it is in an outpost somewhere. No. He's holding it. It's this one right here. Second one. It's going to be over here. And then third one in this corner. There are Lancers that are out moving over onto that east side. Now, keep in mind, it's not that important that Beasty actually secures the relic. He doesn't have the Regnitz Cathedral, so it's not that important. But it's still important, right? You want relics, and especially as the Order of the Dragon, you want them because you can stick them in outposts. They can be very annoying when they increase their range on things like cannon emplacements. So it's one of those things where you definitely do want to have them. How we doing on the upgrades? No special upgrades, no unique upgrades just yet. Relic has gone inside the outpost. Second relic on the way back, also going to be going into the outpost. So that's a 2 for 2. Third and final relic. Yet to have any religious units make their way towards it. Now finally we start to see a bit of difference as Beasty somehow manages to secure 3 out of the 2 relics. And the farm transition begins now for Vortex. No walls coming up, completing this one in just yet. We can see the scouts back here harassing. We do actually, I take it back, we do have walls coming up, sealing off this position down towards that south corner slowly. There we go, he's now completed it. And we'll look to have these vills protected. Definitely a smart move. I'd love to see a little gate across the back here as well. Go on, Vortex, do it. I'm watching. I'll let ya. We're coming back. We'll come back here in 4 minutes. There'll be a gate, don't worry. Don't worry. I trust in the process. I trust in the Vortex. So one of the things I pointed out earlier was the astronomical clock tower. And more curiously about why it was a bit strange to see him go for it here. So if we take a look at Vortex right now, he's out on the map. He's got lancers. He's got his scout, and he wants to find villagers. The only trouble is he doesn't really know where they're at. He can guess where they're at, and by going for the clock tower, that will remain the same. He doesn't know where they are. If he'd gone for the Imperial, I don't even know if we can actually click it. No, we can't actually get into it. But if he'd gone for the Imperial Palace instead, that would have given him the ability to actually see where those villages are. Because the truth is right now, Vortex isn't going to be playing into Siege. This clock tower, it's a glorified Siege workshop, and he's never actually going to use it. He might get a Nesta B or 2 out, but he doesn't really have the economy off a 1 TC play this early to be justifying it. Look, once the game gets a little bit longer, then you can definitely think, oh, you know what, I might do a little bit of a Yuan dynasty. But now these knights make their way towards the top side and do find some villagers. Vortex does get a connection in the end. The spears make their way here. He loses a lancer for, I think it was a villager. Not 100% sure there. And now we come to our next point, where even if Vortex had gone for that extra line of sight and looked to try and find these villagers, are there actually any villagers he could have gotten? And the answer's probably not. I see some vills on the gold, which are easily defended. Vills on the wood, which can be easily run towards the town center. I don't think there's anything here that Beasty can't actively defend. And that's just the consequence of how good these players are at this level. Jukunu together with the crossbow, starting to look a little bit better on the defense behind the walls. Horsemen coming out. Veterans he's through for them. And now the Gilded Crossbowmen going to start coming out for Beasty. Nice little kiting that we're getting to witness here. Look at the distance that he's got on that kiting from the Gilded Crossbows. It's an extra tile of range, 6 tiles of range against those crossbows, against those extra damage on those horsemen coming through now. Spearman doing a decent job of holding the line. And Beasty defending once again. It's that crossbow archer combo that's just so powerful. And kiting back once again, Vortex stabilizing outside the stealth forest. It's always hard fighting outside the stealth forest. You never know exactly how it's going to go down. There could be a whole bunch of Lanch Connector in here. But fortunately for Vortex, there's not. More units looking to unify the forces with Beasty from the north. Spearmen being rallied down. They've all got their golden buffs on, being inspired up by the prelates. And now making a connection with all the ranged units at the backside. Spearmen over here on the east. All attention is focused here as we slowly balance to and fro between this stealth forest once again. Beasty heads back into the depths. Vortex tries to find a way through, but the spears are meeting him. It's just absolute cinema we are witnessing right now. The way that these two are fighting so delicately. Not looking to 100% commit on either side. Yet both players doing so well. Beasty ahead by a mile when it comes to the military pop, but if you looked at this battle, you'd have to disagree. You'd say there's no way he's ahead, at least not by that much. And now look at this, pushing up with the remnant of Jukunu that he's got. He's trying to one-shot that backline, not going to have enough for it. Will have to fall back. Boar to the north, going to get taken now. Vil does get pulled. He's able to keep it alive. Might have to do a second one here as well. Definitely going to have to pull that second one. The Boar could look to try and take some names here. First Vil goes down. Second Vil stays alive. That's what's important. The Vil kill. That's the most important part. Whew. Tell you what, that was a good little battle that they had. A nice little skirmish right there. 19 minutes into the game, and I tell you what, that is a sign of things to come. These two Very, very evenly matched. There's a reason they both made it through to the pointy end of this event. Tell you what, I'm excited about it. I'm casting this, and tonight the pinnacle, how would you say it? The finals. Let's go with that. The finals. That's the technical term. The finals of this event will be happening. So I don't want you to go over there now. Don't go and click the link already. You got to wait until the end of the video. Then you can go down and click the link and go check out EGC TV, because you don't want to get it spoiled, right? You don't want to get it twisted. You know, you could be over there and you could be watching Enitand against Vortex or Marine Lord against Beasty, and then you'll know, oh damn, Vortex won the game. Oh, Beasty won the game. You don't want to ruin it. Then that ruins the fun. Ruins the fun. Don't go yet. Hey, stay. stay with me. I'm cold. Am I gaslighting you right now? I feel like I'm gaslighting you. We could be married for all you know. Anyway, sorry. All right, Beasty looking a little bit stronger. He's taken all 3 sacred sites. The gold trickle's coming through, not just with those 3 relics, but also those sacred sites, helping him out. Adding more and more units in. Look at the number of prelates that he's got. He's still spamming prelates right now. He's got 3 in the queue. The prelates are actually doing a lot of work here. Let's talk a little bit about what is this buff that they're providing. Military units deal 15% damage and gain +1 armor. And that's kind of wild, especially for a unit like the Archer, which has got a very high attack speed. So if you've got a high attack speed, it's better to increase your damage rather than to further increase that attack speed. Because then you're just going to be... basically, your DPS will compound. It's a much better thing to do. And anybody who's played any MMO will know that. You know, you want to try and keep that that DPS as high as you can, and that means looking at both the speed and the damage of the weapon. And we see that these archers have got a very high speed already. Lance Connector mixed in. I think we've got the Zornhau upgrade. Indeed we do. Bodkin Bolt's obviously yet to come through. That's an Imperial Age upgrade. But we do have the Golden Cuirass. And Beasty with quite the army now. Vortex still yet to add a single siege unit. This Castle Age landmark hasn't done a single thing for him this game. Just keep that in mind. I want that to be in the back of your mind as you're watching this, because there could have been opportunities to utilize other landmarks. Couple units going to get caught out here. Vortex not paying attention. Outpost in the middle. It's going to be taking his focus for now. We're right on board with Vortex as he looks to put the pressure on. Doesn't really see too much, and all of a sudden, units come out of the fog. Beasty looks to try and put the foot down. Zornhau Lanch Connector, connecting with the backline. They got to be careful, though. They got to be real careful. Look at the damage that they're able to do. Absolutely tearing it apart. Beasty now, Horseman on the backside. Vortex trying to counteract the damage done by those Lanch Connector. They've all been taken out. Now, a single Lanch Connector remains. The hands, I was going to say the hand cannoneers, the hands of the spears, able to deal with the poles of the horsemen. But Beasty's numbers are looking solid after that last fight. I can't help but feel like the men-at-arms just doing so much work here. 26 Jukunu, only 4 crossbows. I don't know how, but some way Beasty's able to tell the difference between the crossbow and the Jukunu, and he's able to pick the crossbow out. I can't tell the difference. I genuinely can't tell. They all look the same to me. They all look identical. There's apparently 2 crossbows in there. That one, I found it. He's focusing the crossbows! He's focusing the crossbows! He's focusing the crossbows, dude! Did you see he picked off the one in the middle? How do you tell the difference? There's a reason why these players are on another level. Did you see that? He picked out the crossbow of the mass and took it out. He knows that's the key unit. If you take out the crossbow, then all of a sudden your men-at-arms don't die. And if your men-at-arms don't die, then everything else survives because all the units are just shooting the men-at-arms instead. I can't believe that. That's actually insane. There's got to be like a graphic model or something that he's got. He's probably got like there's a very specific graphic setting that he's got turned. Like, you know, like medium graphics with like low textures, and that's how you can differentiate between it. Because on my screen, bro, it is barely a pixel difference. Let's see if you can pick them out. I think, the trick is the weapon. Look at the weapon. That's a Jukunu. That's a crossbow. Yep, we got it. This is a crossbow. Yep. It's the weapon. That's a crossbow. That's a Jukunu. It's the weapon. That's how you do it. You can tell by the pixels. We see our very first SDB. Good value on this landmark. Very good. Oh, we're going for a triple. All right. Beasty looking to put pressure on the south side. We're going to have to see a response here. Cav moving up towards the north vortex. I'm gonna point them all out to you right now. I'll do it from here. Crossbow. Crossbow. Jugunu. That's a crossbow? No, that's a Jugunu. Damn it. Man, this is hard. This is hard. How does he do it? That's actually next level, dude. Ville's idle down the south. Ville's idle down the south. Have a look at this. We're going for big wings, big swings, and he's doing the deeps. Oh, there are so many picture-perfect moments right here. Beasty breaks into the farms. All of the archers. Now, Vortex is in real trouble. Nesta B is going to tee off, looking to try and dish out some damage. Of course, all the prelates are here to heal up. Feels like it's locked in. But all of a sudden, Beasty says, I'm not locked in here with you, buddy. You're locked in here with me. Ville's now getting sent back to the farm. Second Nesta B's. Jukunu together with the crossbows. Can't tell the difference, so you just got to gently put them all together in the same basket. Oh, God. that could be clipped out of context. But it won't be. It won't be. You guys are good guys. You guys are fair dinkum. And that's it. Wait, he surrendered? I mean, it makes sense, right? The Ville count? I'm trying to see other reasons. It had to be the Ville count. It's got to be the Ville count. There's no other reason. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description where you can watch EGC TV after this video has been posted, probably an hour or two. Give it a bit, and then they'll be live. They'll be live. Check him out.